What's up guys, that guy with the pencil here. So, I've seen this, I've thought about this, I've contemplated, discussed, pondered, read, and wondered many times about this specific battle. And the many things that this fight really has is variables. So, KCM2 Sage Mode Naruto and KCM2 Edo Minato against EMS Sasuke and Edo Itachi. There are around 4 big factors we gotta address when talking about this fight. The power, the speed, the abilities, and the intelligence. Honestly, the easiest one to address is power, because no offense to Itachi and Sasuke, but they are not outdoing Minato and Naruto in terms of raw power. You got Minato and Naruto, both wielding a power that in the data books is able to turn the world to ash. Then, you have the power that when freshly awoken, casually surpassed 6 other Bijou working together at once. Then, you got a power that made Hashirama himself declare, upon first glancing at it, claim that it rivaled his own. And these two can casually spit out Bijou bombs and wield avatars comparable to the perfect Susanoo in raw power. Then you got Itachi and Sasuke, who aren't really slouches when it comes to raw power, but they aren't even scuffing half the Nine Tails. 6 Bijou working together couldn't even scuff half the Nine Tails. Sasuke and Itachi with their Susanoo are not outpowering Naruto and Minato. A sad thing to point out is that Sasuke was so much weaker than Naruto that Naruto had to empower Sasuke once he hit KCM2 to keep Sasuke and everyone else relevant. Speed is honestly the most contentious topic for this fight. However, I would still say it goes in favor of the Yellow Flash and his boy. Eternal Mangekyo Sharingan Sasuke is no speed slouch at all. In fact, he scales very well to a mastered KCM1 Naruto, fighting alongside him evenly. Edo Itachi scales directly to this Sasuke, and he also scales to a fatigue regular KCM Naruto, and matches to outspeeds a fresh EMS Sasuke according to his fight with Kabuto. That's great speed scaling. Mid-war arc is really good for any character in the Narutoverse. However, if I had to be honest, KCM2 Sage Naruto and KCM2 Minato scale better. Minato already scales above the full Nine Tails in terms of speed and base, able to react to it pretty easily from a close range. Remember, even a portion of half the Nine Tails chakra amped Naruto so far they managed to outspeed the 4th Raikage. A weaker Jonin Minato was able to perform a similar feat of blitzing the Jonin Raikage, who helped the 3rd Raikage wrangle the 8 Tails back into a Shinjuriki. This is the same character who in base is constantly stated to be one of, if not the fastest shinobi in history. Kurama, the former holder of the title, states that Minato's body flicker, flying Raijin, and strikes are all better than his own, all in base. Then, you give him KCM2. I mean, what do you want Itachi and Sasuke to do? They're rivaling a mastered KCM1 Naruto, not a KCM2 Minato. Minato in base is practically KCM Naruto speed, if not a lot faster, so giving him KCM2, and he's good to go speed-wise. Same for Naruto, who's drastically stronger than even his master KCM1 self, even in regular KCM2. So stack Sage Mode on top of that, and you realize that once again, EMS Sasuke, who was just enough to rival regular KCM1 Naruto, is outsped. They aren't matching a full half of Kurama in Sage Mode stacked on top of that. That's why he needed to be amped not only by Naruto, but also Jugo to keep up. It's pretty wild, and while one could argue that Itachi is even faster than EMS Sasuke, he's not so many times faster that he somehow catches Minato or Naruto while both are in KCM2. Techniques are where the real chaos of the battle kicks in, because the Genjutsu brothers do have some sort of advantage over the 2 speedy powerhouses. Maybe not with their weaker Genjutsu, both are perfect Jinchuriki, so the respective Kurama halves could easily snap them out of that, but if Itachi throws out Tsukuyomi, with its raw speed, it's unlikely that either Kurama could snap them out of it in time. Both brothers have Amaterasu, but Naruto has been shown to be able to deal with that with his chakra cloak, and even if not that for Minato and Naruto, I'm sorry, Amaterasu is not hitting either of them. If the Raikage could dodge Amaterasu, KCM2 Naruto and KCM2 Minato can dodge the Amaterasu. The Susanoo is super strong as a technique for both Sasuke and Itachi, especially Itachi with his Yadamir and Totsuka blade. And the thing is, nothing but the Yadamir is really taking anything close to a Senjutsu enhanced Bijou bomb or a massive Kurama filled Rasengan. And the worst thing about the Yadamir is that it is not omnidirectional. Minato just teleports behind or just plain blitzes behind Itachi and blasts a Bijou bomb powered by half the strongest tailed beast right into the back of his Susanoo. Sasuke does have a lot of Chidori variants all the way up to Kirin, but chances are that they are simply not hitting, or not that effective. Itachi does have a Shadow clones, and he can make them explode, but the damage just won't do it for him. Then you have the Kurama duo, and while they don't have many hack techniques, the few they do have are potent. You have Minato, quite possibly one of, if not the most skilled sealing users in the entire verse, having extensive knowledge of the Uzumaki techniques, meaning that if he lays a hand on Edo Itachi is sealed away. For both of them, they can sense the negative intent thanks to Kurama and can use it to guide them in this fight. Naruto has the Rasen Shuriken, and if that hits Sasuke's body, Sasuke is getting torn apart at the cellular level. Then you have the fact that both of the Kurama squad are fond of using the Shadow Clone Jutsu, especially Naruto with his multi-Shadow Clone Jutsu, so they could easily outnumber and confuse the Sharingan duo. Especially since no one can tell the difference between clones in the original except for Madara, and all of those clones could possibly pop out a Kurama avatar. Then, With Naruto in Sage Mode, he might as well have his own Sharingan with that precog and range extensions thanks to nature energy. And of course, he means his flying Raijin, so if he throws out a whole bunch of kunai or even touches one of the Sharingan brothers, then that's an easy teleport and control of the battlefield. Now, the big factor outside of techniques, intelligence. Now, Itachi is a genius, do not get me wrong. The man planned out everything from his entire life to his own death. And the man's a monster intelligence-wise. However, Minato is also described as an unparalleled talent as well, and he shows it. After just meeting Obito, he instantly figured out Kami's weakness and abused it. Both are geniuses in their own respective rights, and while Itachi does know every jutsu has a weakness and always maintains a level head, Minato does the same. The only time we've ever seen Minato not calm and focused was when he was what the data book describes in a daze, when fighting his former student and personal failure, Obito. Both are extremely smart and balanced, but I'll give it to Itachi because Itachi does have more intelligence feats since he has more screen time. For Naruto and Sasuke, Sasuke is a technical genius, very smart and skilled, using everything in his disposal to their peak in creative ways. Naruto is quite the opposite, a genius in his own right, but not in a technical manner like everyone else in this fight. He's creative, unpredictable, and dangerous in a way when he mixes techniques and stretches his powers to their limit, taking a smaller moveset and using it in creative ways. The two teams are oddly balanced in terms of intelligence, but to be honest, I'm giving the edge to Team Sharingan. That technical skill and constant ability to understand and adapt are really important in a fight like this. I'm not saying that Minato and Naruto can't do that, they obviously can, but it's likely that Itachi and Sasuke can do it better. Now, to explain what I mean by this fight having so many insane variables. The questions are, when will Itachi resort to Tsukuyomi? When will the brothers pop the Susanoo? Will Naruto and Minato, who both know Uchiha and the Sharingan quite well, even look in their brothers' eyes? Will Naruto and Minato pop their avatars in response to the Susanoo? Will Minato be playful or like himself in the Third Great Ninja War and against Obito and instantly try to kill Itachi and Sasuke? Will Naruto use the multi-shadow clone jutsu instantly? Will Itachi even be able to touch the father son duo with the Tosuke blade? Really the only way he can stop reanimating Minato. Can the Susanoos, especially Sasuke, survive a Bijou bomb from father and son? A Senjutsu enhanced one? Can the tailed beast Rasen Shuriken bust through the Susanoo? For Izanami, will either the quick-moving, chaotic fighters that Naruto and Minato are move in the loop for Itachi? Will Itachi even Izanami the right Naruto and Minato if he can land it? Will the two fighters on either end even allow the other duo to stay together? Will Minato teleport the Susanoo somewhere else? What could the Kurama duo do if Amaterasu hits them? What wins, a Bijou bomb, and a Senjutsu enhanced one, or Susanoo arrow and Yasuke Magatama? These are just some of the questions that one has to ask when concerning themselves with this fight in particular. It's super interesting to talk about for that reason, as so many things could possibly happen or not happen off the start of the battle. However, even with all these insane variables, techniques, and variances in fighting styles, I'm going to have to give the edge to the Team Kurama. Now, why? Well, everything that Itachi and Sasuke have is hard counted by at least one of the Kurama duo, if not both of them. The Flying Raijin was specifically made to defeat the Sharingan, as he cannot read what suddenly teleports away like Minato will do against the Sharingan brothers. Sage Mode alone gives Naruto precognition and reaction speed and the ability to sense attacks without seeing them, while KCM alone gives him the ability to sense negative intent, so combine the two and he's going to be super hard to hit. Even Minato has the ability to sense negative intent, so he will be on higher edge than ever in combination with his speed. The lower level Genjutsu, Kurama and the other clones, can snap this father-son pair out of it, since both of them are perfect Jinchuriki. Amaterasu can be globbed off with the chakra cloak of KCM2 Naruto, and Minato can teleport the Amaterasu away like he can teleport other chakra entities like Bijou bombs. All fire-style jutsu from the brothers can be dodged or teleported away, or just caught and thrown away with the chakra arms that Naruto can spawn. Same for the lightning release techniques, which could be blocked or dodged. The Susanoo, the Kurama avatars with Senjutsu and enhanced Bijou bombs or just regular Bijou bombs. It's also super likely that Minato could grab the Susanoo and warp it away, since it's a chakra entity. That could warp the brother inside too, or just the Susanoo. That's a variable, but it's still a technique neg. Same for any range attacks that the Susanoo has, which can be countered by Rasen Shuriken and Bijou bombs. Izanagi and Izanami, the shadow clones that could easily flood the battlefield and attack from all ranges and sides that would overwhelm the brothers. The only thing that will most likely not be countered is Tsukuyomi if it hits. But considering how much Naruto and Minato know about the Sharingan and the fact that they never ever really stay still in a fight, I doubt Itachi could cast it on them. Once again, Itachi, unless he opens up with this, could hit the wrong one, and then he's still getting hit. And let's be real and honest with ourselves. As strong as the precog of the Mangekyo Sharingan and the Eternal Mangekyo Sharingan are, the speed gap between the two duos is super large. Sasuke matches Naruto with a portion of half the Nine Tails chakra. This is that same Naruto who has access to that full chakra pool, increasing his speed drastically, and then you stack Sage Mode on top of that. What do you want regular EMS Sasuke to do other than to get outsped? Then of course you have Minato, who in base already outspeeds the full Ninetales, and then give him a Ninetales chakra cloak. Oh, and he's the best user of the jutsu specifically made to counter the Sharingan, which is based around quick movement and attacking. Itachi scales to EMS Sasuke, not KCM2 Naruto and Minato. The Sharingan can be outdone and outplayed. We've seen Naruto and Lee do it, and we know that Hashirama has done it. Even Guy was able to outplay the Sharingan by looking at his opponent's feet. Naruto and Minato, who both have a version of super strong precog and intent sensing on their own with Sage Mode and KCM, will be fine. And like I mentioned, the raw power gap. Itachi and Sasuke are just too weak. They aren't really damaging their speedy foes, if they can even hit them. Meanwhile, one touch from Minato on Itachi and he gets sealed by Minato. And one touch from a Senjutsu Biju Bomb, or Rasengan, or Rasen Shuriken to the body, and Sasuke is just dead. Remember, Naruto almost always opens up with clone spam. If Naruto just slaps a whole ton of Biju Bombs, or even just massive Rasengans, powered by Sage Mode and Kurama, that's most likely popping even the Susanoo. Minato always opens up with setting up seals for himself to teleport to, and it's not uncommon to him to just try and kill somebody. It's Naruto who in character may be reluctant to kill Sasuke. Itachi typically opens up with weaker genjutsu and not the Susanoo, so if he gets touched by Minato, he's done. Even given all the intel that both sides would have on each other, the advantage still goes to the Kurama duo, mainly because Itachi and Sasuke would know little to nothing about Minato. He died when Itachi was at best 7 and Sasuke was a baby, and the two have never really met, so all of Minato's tricks like teleportation and sealing would be a massive unknown factor for both of the brothers. Meanwhile, Naruto knows almost everything about the both of them. He's fought with and against Sasuke before, and he knows all about the Chidori, Sasuke's genjutsu skill, his Sharingan, and has even seen his Susanoo in action. So there goes all of Sasuke's entire toolkit. Naruto also knows Itachi pretty well, knowing about Tsukuyomi, Amaterasu, the Susanoo, and the Tosuke Blade, but maybe not the Yadamir. However, both of the Kurama duo aren't stupid and won't just swing at a massive shield. And Naruto could easily relay all this to Minato just as he relayed Tsukuyomi to Killer Bee. They're going to have Sasuke, who does know Naruto very well, alongside Itachi, dealing with the character that they would struggle with on their own, in combination with what would be a massive question mark with the ability to kill them or seal them in an instant. However, even with all of this, I think the fight would still be amazing to watch, because when pushed up against the wall, it's when the Uchiha go absolutely insane, and they come up with these random insane plays that you would never expect. Like, I could easily see Itachi and Sasuke probably reading the situation, if they don't die immediately, probably reading the situation and being like, okay, well, we can't do this no more, and instantly popping Susanoo. And once they pop Susanoo, Itachi's probably going to be trying to send out genjutsu every single chance he gets, but Naruto and Minato are just going to constantly be on the move. It's really going to be a fight to the photo finish, because if Naruto instantly opens up with multi-shadow clone jutsu, then that's just a whole ton of shadow clones everywhere. And then Itachi's going to have to try and keep his eyes on the main one while watching out for this other shadow clone user in Minato, who's going to be blitzing around the battlefield after throwing out all his kunai immediately. And he's going to have to watch his back. He's going to have to watch Sasuke's back, because Sasuke's going to try and be watching Naruto most likely. And he's just going to probably be confused, because the Sharingan will help him keep up with Naruto's movement speed. But then, what happens when Naruto just yanks out a massive Rasen Shuriken and just slams it into the side of the Susanoo, or even directly in front of it? Sasuke's going to probably have his Susanoo busted open. He's going to have to try and reform it quick enough. Naruto's going to keep lunging through and trying to beat him. Meanwhile, Minato's just going to be like, man, the Susanoo, that's crazy, dog. Now, what if I hit the back of it, though? Because maybe, if we just, like, remove all of Minato's common sense and make him a bit stupid. Let's say he fires a Biju Bomb directly at the gigantic shield that Susanoo's holding. Let's say he does that. He's going to notice that, oh, well, shoot, that shield took it pretty darn well. Let me aim for the back of it. He's going to teleport behind Itachi, or just move behind Itachi. Because remember, Minato's just super fast, even with body flicker. Like, Minato's raw movement speed literally beat the other 3 Hokage coming with him. He managed to move all the way out. This isn't base, by the way. He moved all the way from where he was with Sasuke, Orochimaru, and the rest of the Taka team. And he made it all the way to the battlefield after dropping off somewhere in an ocean with a kunai to make sure they could teleport things away if he needed to, and managed to get there, teleport the Biju Bomb away, all before the other Hokage showed up. This includes Hiruzen, Hashirama, and Tobirama. Some fast ninja in their own right, and Minato did this in base. So Minato's movement speed is going to be quite a bit out of Itachi's league to deal with, especially in KCM2. So He's literally gonna pop up and be like, okay, so that one hit to the front didn't work. Let me hit the back real quick. He's gonna teleport behind or move behind and fire a Biju bomb. And like I said, I don't think that the Susanoo's gonna be appreciating a Biju bomb right up the butt. Like, it's not gonna enjoy it. I'm telling you that. And even if one doesn't work, let's say it just cracks the Susanoo. Let's give Itachi and Sasuke Susanoo all the wank in the world. Let's say somehow, even though the Kurama avatar itself is comparable to the perfect Susanoo, let's give them all the benefit of the doubt. Let's say that it would take multiple Biju bombs and Senjutsu enhanced Biju bombs and Rasen Shurikens, all this, to crack the Susanoo open. Well, Naruto has Shadow Hokage Jutsu. If he instantly opens up with that, there's going to be tens, hundreds, possibly even thousands with Kurama chakra of clones. And even if they can't all summon Kurama avatars, which maybe not, let's say that, maybe they can't summon Kurama avatars. Even if there's just one Kurama avatar, and there's hundreds of just little Narutos charging the Susanoo, all holding Rasen Shurikens that are empowered by a tailed beast bomb, and they all slam it into Sasuke's Susanoo, which we know Naruto does. He doesn't care. He'll gang up on someone. He drops it all the time. Then the Susanoo's getting blown apart, and Sasuke's gonna be like, where's the real one coming from? And meanwhile, there's gonna be like, Naruto's gonna be up in the air firing off a Senjutsu enhanced Biju bomb to destroy Sasuke. And Sasuke just, that's the thing, like, Itachi and Sasuke do have win conditions. I'd say this fight is like an 8 out of 10 in Naruto and Minato's favor, because hypothetically, it's really, really low chance, though. That's my thing. It's low chance that the Tosuke Blade hits. It's low chance that Tsukuyomi hits, because we know Naruto and Minato just move. Like, they do not believe in sitting down for a second and waiting and talking things. No, they speed blitz all around the battlefield. It's what they do. So, if Itachi gets Tosuke Blade, great. If Itachi gets Tsukuyomi, great. If Itachi gets Izanami, great. And even if Itachi is forced to use Izanagi, that's one eye he's down, so it's either Tsukuyomi or Amaterasu gone. But I think after seeing what Amaterasu just doesn't do against both of the Kurama pair, he may just sacrifice the Amaterasu eye. But that's one Izanagi down, and then the next thing that Itachi gets hit by kills him. He has 2 tries. And I'm not even sure, can Sasuke even use Izanagi? Does he know how to use it? I have no idea. And even if he does, same thing applies to him. If he sacrifices one eye, then that means Amaterasu, he probably sacrificed the flame control eye first, because you need Amaterasu to use flame control in the first place. So he loses that eye, and then Naruto and Minato just like, oh, thanks, dog. Die though, and then they're just dead, because there are holes in the strategy of bomb rushing and blowing things up. There are always holes in that. But when the speed gap is so large, when the power gap is so large, when it's an in-character thing for the characters to do, that's when it becomes a problem for whoever they're fighting. And that's the case with this specific battle. Minato and Naruto with KCM2 and Naruto, especially with Sage Mode, are just so much drastically above Sasuke and Itachi in terms of speed and power. So as smart as Itachi is, as smart as Sasuke is, as many weaknesses as any jutsu has, they aren't gonna be able to do anything. Because even if their Sharingan allows them to read every single movement that Naruto and Minato make, if they can't react quick enough, oh well, they're dead. Or sealed in Itachi's case. And like I said, it is one touch from Minato. Minato literally grabbed Obito, left the seal on his back, and freed the Nine Tails. One touch. It's literally that simple for Minato. That's their win condition. That's the variant. Itachi and Sasuke have win conditions, but they are super rare and super unlikely. Naruto and Minato have win conditions, but they're super obvious and very likely. Blitzing? It's literally what Minato was known for. He was called the Yellow Flash. It's his favorite thing to do, because it's the most optimal thing to do. If you beat your opponent before your opponent can do anything, then you win. And Naruto's favorite strategy is clones, bum rush. It's what he lives for, my guy. He does it. So against Sasuke and Itachi, they just have nothing to do. And especially since the win conditions for Itachi and Sasuke can get thrown off by the fact that they're going to be clones running around, the fact that their Susanos are going to be too slow and clunky for them, the fact that everything just stacks up against Itachi and Sasuke, I have to give the win to Minato and Naruto. I think an 8 out of 10 to maybe even 9 out of 10 basis is most likely that the Kurama duo will just win, because they have the speed advantage, they have the power advantage, even most of their techniques negate all the techniques that Itachi and Sasuke have. Naruto could quite possibly just close his eyes, and then all the genjutsu just goes right out the window, and then he's just slamming because he can sense things with Sage Mode. Minato has intense sensing. He could possibly also close his eyes, but that's probably a bit less likely. My money's on Sasuke and Itachi. I'd love to hear your ideas though. If you can think of a way, or if you can like disprove my, if you can somehow pull out a feat that shows that regular EMS Sasuke is comparable to KCM2 Sage Naruto and KCM2 Minato, then that's great. Then we can discuss. Or if there's a technique that I forgot that Sasuke and Itachi have that somehow allows them to win, let me know. I'd be intrigued to hear it, because like I said, I've read multiple discussions about this. I've looked around to try and see more win conditions for Itachi and Sasuke, because I feel like this fight, I don't want to say a mismatch, but it's a bit unfair. I see it a lot, and I see a lot of people try and say, oh, their speed gap doesn't exist, but the speed gap does exist. People try to downplay the power gap exists. So if you can somehow prove me wrong, I want to hear it. I actually really want to hear it, because I feel like that would make this fight more interesting to talk about. Though it is already super interesting to talk about. That's always a mix-up with Itachi fights in particular. I'm getting a little bit off point, but Itachi fights in particular, they're always really interesting to talk about because Itachi is such an interesting fighter. Same with any Sharingan wielder, really, but I find Itachi the most interesting character to discuss because of how just ludicrous he is with all his techniques and stuff like that. But regardless, that's all for this video. Y'all know what's coming next week. Then, next up, we do have the Demon King versus Prime Meliodas. Prime Demon King versus Prime Meliodas. Y'all know the drill. And after that, it's most likely going to be Itachi versus Gother, or it's going to be a series I've been planning to do for a while now. It'll be a toss-up. You'll see in 2 weeks. Hey, what can I say? But regardless, thank you guys so much for watching. Please, make sure to like, comment, share, subscribe. And if you didn't like the video, leave a dislike. Just please, tell me in the comment section why you didn't like it. Tell me how I can improve. If you have any suggestions, go ahead and tell me. If you have any recommendations for versus battles to do, specifically from like Naruto, Taizai, man, my range is small. My Hero Academia, I am slowly doing more reading to widen my pool of knowledge in terms of versus battle, because I want to bring you guys more diverse content, a lot more versus battle content. And yeah, that's where I end here. So thank you guys so much for watching. Once again, hope you guys have a wonderful day. And this is that guy with the pencil writing off.